What's going on, guys? Welcome to another tutorial breakdown of Tekken 7, and today we're going to be focusing on Lee Chao Wong. Lee is a very old character of the Tekken franchise. He has his move list is as deep as the ocean, so I'm going to do the best I can to try to give you a rundown with him, but if I mess some stuff up, just bear with me. So Lee has two stances. His first stance is going to be called Hitman. In order to get to Hitman, you need to hit both kicks, or 3 and 4, and he's going to do a movement like this. He can sidestep in this stance, which is something pretty cool, but he can't, if you hit forward or back or anything like that, you're going to come out of the stance. Now he also does like moves that go into it, so for instance this duck right here goes into it, if this little sweep. I have to actually hit 4 after that kick in order to go into it, but it's definitely one of his stances that he kind of like Miguel, he goes into a stance after a move or something like that. But if you want to just jump into it regular, it's just both kicks. The next one's going to be called Misstep. This is something that's very common to Lee. He does something, if you tap forward, that's called Misstep right there. We know it as wave dash, but Lee has his own. He does not have to do like any down forward movement or anything like that. He just needs to tap forward. So if I just tap forward on Lee, he's just going to slide forward all day. But while he's sliding forward, that's called Misstep, and he can actually do different moves. So you can do things like a 1-2 and go into Misstep, or you can do a back 2 and go into Misstep. There's a couple different moves you can do and then go to a Misstep right afterwards. So if you're playing Lee a lot, you're going to have to look for those little strings or hits to go into Misstep in order to kind of abuse that stance a bit more. Alright, so now we'll shift over to launchers real quick. He has 8 launchers that I've found so far, and I've gone through the move list. I actually think he's probably got 2 or 3 more, but I'll just leave it at 8 for now. So the first one we're going to do is, if we're in Hitman stance, we can hit 2, which is right punch, and we get a good launcher like that. The second launcher is going to be during Misstep, so if I Misstep, so if I tap forward and then hit 3-4, I get a good launcher like that, and I mean easily do other moves after that. His third launcher is going to be down forward 3-2-3, and this is a staple combo of Lee. You're going to use this combo a lot. So down forward 3-2-3. And not only is it a solid launcher, but it's a really good combo to use at the wall. It gets really good damage as long as they're high enough on the wall for you to abuse it. But it's definitely a good move to throw out all the time on Lee. I mean, I see it often. It's just a staple string to use. And it has a launcher at the end. So we also got up forward 4. So this knee right here is a classic like launcher. It's kind of like the King launcher when King does his knee. It's quick, it gets in there, and it gets your opponent airborne, so you can really start abusing some shit. Next one's going to be down to hold back 4, which is if I can get that one right there. This kick right here, this is like one of my favorite launchers in the game, actually. It's been around since Tekken 2, I want to say. But this launcher is, if you catch them with that, man, they're going, you can get any combo you want off of that. And the way that you're going to do that is you're going to hold down into a crouch position, and then go into a down back, and then hit 4. It's actually kind of hard to do, so it'll take a bit of practice for you to get that one going. But I assure you, if you get that off in a match, you're going to feel like a boss. The next one's going to be Rising 3-4, or Rising 2-3, sorry. So Rising 2-3 is going to give you this movement here, and that's not only good for just launching them off rip, but if you threw that into like the middle of a combo, then you can get a good launch to the wall and start using wall damage as well. We also have crouching up forward 4, which is a backflip. He's got the classic Law backflip. Everyone knows that backflip. Simple launcher, you can use the shit out of it. If you hold down and then charge it, like you hold down, charge it, and then up forward and four, and you hold up forward and forward at the same time, like you hold them, he's gonna do a slower backflip, like that move there. And then what else we have? We have oh, he's got the normal delay hop kick. This is done by just kind of jumping a little bit in the air, and right before you land, you want to hit forward. And that's a simple launcher. A lot of characters have it, but Lee has it, so I figured I'd mention it. Alright, next ones we got, we're going to focus on is going to be sweeps. He does not have many sweeps, I've noticed, but some of them are he's got a lot of down hits like this, but no real sweeps. But the sweeps he does have, if you're in Mist, you can do this one right here. This is a very common move done by Lee all the time. You actually see it on Law a lot. Right there, that little slide. It's called the Lee slide. And the other one's going to be back and then forward during okay, so this right here. Okay, in order for you to do this, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to hit forward to go forward and then hit back. So if I slide forward with miss slide, and during misstep or whatever I hit back, I'll actually do a juke back, like just like that move there. Now during that juke back, I need to hit forward, and he comes down and he does a little slide, right? Now it doesn't look that great, but if it's a counter hit, that's a full combo. So it doesn't seem like it's that great at first, but if he's going to attack you after you do this little juke back, I mean, not only are you juking out of the way, but you're coming in for a really serious sweep punish that can lead to a full combo. Alright, so now we're going to look at counter hits. So we have a 1-2-4. Go ahead. 1-2-4. This move right here, the last hit, the kick, is what does it. You can pick him up. He is a bit sideways, but you can pick him up into a combo with that hit there. We also have an up forward 4 during Hitman. That move right there. But if we do it with a counter, it gives us a bounce effect. So it's definitely a solid counter to abuse. Just throwing that in there, I mean, you get a pretty mean combo off that. So the next one we're gonna look at will be forward 4-3. So this right here. It can also be if you hit. I mean, I think it's no. Yeah, there you go. Back 4 is the same thing. So if you hit back 4, it's a bounce effect as well. But if you hit forward 4-3, it's kind of the 2-piece to that. And in order for you to get the bounce effect, the first one's gonna have to whiff or be blocked, because only the second hit's gonna give you that counter. All right, next we have forward 4. This move right here. But if we hit it with a counter hit, we get a fall down effect, and we can also pick up into a combo. Alright, so with that one in mind, we're going to go to 2-1-4, this right here. And that does that same sweep that we were talking about before. Now, this sweep doesn't actually, I think if they're attacking, it'll actually do it, but I'm not positive. But it does put them into a serious negative frame state. And with that negative frame state, you're able to, at the very least, try to come up with an up knee or something like that. They can technically block it if they get out of it, but the up knee, it's a safe move to do right after that, and if you get the launcher, it's good. If not, hey, you're back to fighting and no harm done. So now we have 4-3-3. This right here. Now the axe kick is the one that's going to give you a counter effect. Now it's just a slam down counter effect, and you can't really get a juggle off of it. But you could probably get let's see here. Yeah, you get a little 2-hit like that. That means that this hit right here is going to be guaranteed after it. Alright, and then we have forward. Oh, we have 4 multiple times. So this is called the machine gun kick. And what the machine gun kick is for is any one of these kicks will counter. Alright? So you can just smash 4. I think it's up to 3 times. And it's a good like distancer, and at the same time it has a counter hit effect. And it doesn't matter if I hit him with the first one, or the second one, or the third one even. Let me try to hit him with the third one, see if that works. No. Yep. Even the third one gets the effect. You're probably only going to be able to do a juggle off the first one, just like a first hit, or maybe even the second hit. I don't think you'll be getting a juggle off that third hit. So we have another one here. It's going to be 2-1-1, and then both punches. So 2-1-1, both punches. I think that's it. Oh, or both punches. Yeah, this move here. This is a pretty staple move for Lee. You can do it in a combo with 2-1-1, or you can just hit both punches. And what that's going to do, if I hit him with the counter move here, it's going to knock him to the ground. I believe I can get at the very least, get a 2-hit combo. Try it again. I don't know. He could probably get up. But it's at the very least, it's something that you can throw at him just to kind of ground splat him, I guess. Either way, you can hit him with that and get some distance. I mean, you can use it for many things. I mean, if anything, it's just a really good counter to use, just to throw in and mix it up. Now we have a down back 4, and then pause 4. So down back 4, and then pause 4. Alright, so we're going to do, it's down 4, then pause 4. Alright. So you do this move here, and after this low kick, if you pause for a second and then hit 4 again, it's going to do that move there. But if you hit him with the second hit, let me see if I can do it here. You get a airborne effect off of it. So I'm not sure if it's actually juggleable, possibly for a good Lee, if he can find some ways to get in there and keep him airborne. But at the very least, that counter does get your opponent airborne. Alright, so now we also have a back down 3-4. So this move, no, not that move. That move right there. So it's a sweep knockdown. It's a sweep knockdown right there. But I don't think you'll be able to get a tailspin off that combo, but you'll probably be able to pick him up into a couple extra hits somewhere along the line. But either way, it's definitely a counter move. It's definitely a counter move. It gives you an effect. He's airborne, or at least on the ground, and it opens you up to keeping him in the air some way, somehow. I haven't really dug into too many ways to pick him up from these combos. I'm more or less just giving everybody the kind of the Lego blocks to put together, and then you can use strings yourself to try to add all these together and make up your own combos, to be honest. Alright, we also have a crouch down forward 4. So this move, you gotta be in a crouch and then down forward 4. But with a counter hit, I believe it has a sweep effect as well. Yeah, it has a sweep effect as well. Alright, so now we're gonna dig into the character's tailspins. So this character has 11 tailspins, which is a shit ton. Although I'm noticing that most characters have at least 6 to 8 or so. This character has 11 tailspins. So the first one we're gonna mess with is gonna be called the Revolution Swai, And Revolution Y can be mixed up into a couple combos. It can also be just thrown out by itself. Revolution Y is down forward, 1-2, does that move there, and 3. So the 3 is actually the binding move. So if I hit him like this, there we go. We'll actually get the tailspin effect. So it's definitely good to use. I mean, like, I could probably do... Nah, I can get him like that. Come on now. Nah, I guess not. Now something could be done with that. Now his Revolution Y can also be 1-1-2-4, so you can mix it up into an actual combo. Excuse me. Alright, you can actually mix it into an actual combo by doing 1-2-2-4, or you can just throw it out by itself. And then we also have 2-2-3. So if you want to just leave the 1 off and just go 2-2-4, you can do that as well. Remember, the last hit is the one that actually tailspins. So if I want to do... Yeah, there you go. Hey, look at that. So you can actually mix it up and get, like, use 4 hits before the tailspin, or just use 2 hits before the tailspin. But it's called Revolution Y, and the main way you do it is down forward both punches, and then 3. And then you can mix in the strength with it if you'd like to. We also have a what's called combination Fump, which is 2-2-3. No, that's not it. Oh, that's the Revolution Y, sorry. 2-1-3. This right here. And if we get them in the air, yep, we definitely get a binding effect. 2-1-3. The next one's going to be what's called a combination kick. Or a scatter kick, sorry. Scatter kick is during Hitman, and you're going to want to hit 3. Now that move there is a bind. This move is actually really, really interesting, so let me go over this real quick. If you hit 3 during Hitman, what's going to happen is this move does a grab. It can be blocked, but it also does a tailspin if you do it inside of a combo, and it also is a power crush. So if they're attacking you during that, then you're gonna smash right through it and grab them. So it's a very interesting move, but it's also a tailspin, so I had to at least make it notable. We also have forward 3. Okay, so this one's interesting because it's almost like you have to do it kind of by itself. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna hit forward and 3, and then you're gonna spam 3, and you're gonna have to kick until it actually gets him off the ground, and then hit 4. And it does a tailspin at the end of it. Now, you can do the tailspin early, so once you hit forward 3, you get into this kick motion, and you can do as many 3 kicks as you like. All the way up to 6, I think it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5. Now, but you can also cut the combo early. So you can cut it and get a 3 in there, or a 4 in there, in order to get the tailspin. I think you have to at least do 2 hits. But either way, I would just use it like this and actually get a combo, or actually even pick them up off of that. But this right here, once you get them off the ground and then you hit 4, it's a guaranteed bind. Now remember, they can block that, so be careful when you use that. It does have pretty quick frames. There's no like counter hit it does or anything like that, so be careful when you throw that out, but it's definitely a cool little bind, or a cool little tailspin. Alright, so we have back 2, 4, 3. So back 2, 4, 3 is this move right here. Now you're gonna notice the back 2 is a very common move of Lee. So back 2. And people do like this move all the time. Now I'm not very good at it, but yeah, there you go. But if you want to end the combo per se, you instead of continuing on like this, you can actually end it with the 3-4 or something like that. What was it? It's a back 2 4-3. Yeah, back 2 4-3. So during a combo, you can throw that out like that. Let's see if I can get. There you go. Alright. So the next one we're going to do is going to be up forward 3-4. This move here. And I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I had to do the big launcher for that one. Yeah, there you go. I had to use the big launcher to actually get that one to do a tailspin. I'm sure there's a lot of cool ways to use that, but either way, it's up forward 3-4. The next one's gonna be back, and then hold back 4. Which will be the Lee cutter. I think I had to. Yeah, I had to. It's back, and then on the second back, you want to hold it, and then push 4. And you get this move here. It doesn't have any counter effects or anything like that, but I mean, hell, that's a 55 damage 4-hit combo using that one there. Alright, now we have Rising 2-4. This is going to be a very common one you're going to use. And it's also a mix-up if you use the back, the wall rising 2-3 instead. So if I were to use, let's see here. Now obviously I didn't catch him with that, but hey, 54 damage. Look at that. All right, now we have sidestep 3-4. So this one is an interesting one, and I did not find any ways to really use it. Again, I always go for the big launcher to make sure that I can get it. And it's totally doable, but I'm not sure where you'd actually use that sidestep. Yeah, it's got no counter properties to like throw them into a tailspin, but it does like if you sidestep it into the combo, kind of playing like Nina. Maybe you could find a good use for that. Alright, so that's all the tailspins he has. Notable moves. So I always want to mention a couple things. So 2-1-1. This move here is a staple. Like you're gonna be able to use that a lot. I don't know how safe it is, to be completely honest, but it definitely is a good counter. So even throwing that in every now and then, mixing it up, is definitely good. And as always, down forward 3-2-3. One of my favorites. I love that. Alright, he also does cool shit like Law's Backflip. You know, this move here is just so awesome. Holding down and then up forward 4 does a backflip. And you can do it the opposite way. If you hit like back up 4, you can go or just go straight up with it. It's whatever direction you want to use. But I mean, I think that's so cool, having the classic Law backflip kind of. A lot of characters used to have it. Now I can only really see like 2. But I just wanted to mention that. And then now we have, was it 4-2-1? This is another good staple move. So not only is it a good ender, it's a good wall splat. And it's one of those, like, it's just like Miguel. If you that run up 2-piece, I mean, if you just need to throw out some damage quick, I mean, I'm sure it's incredibly punishable. It looks incredibly punishable. but it's a staple move for Lee, so you should probably be using that a lot, especially if someone's like running in on you, or a good whiff. A good whiff, that's a damn good whiff punch. We also have this character has 2 specials. So his first special is gonna be down back 1. Now down back 1 obviously does 50 damage, but you can cancel out of it by pushing up up. So if I push up up right as I do it, so down back both punches and then hit up up, I can just cancel right out of it. But it's the classic special move from Tekken, man. And I'm glad to see that Lee still has it. And then he has another special move, is down both kicks, and that does 80 damage. Look how much damage that does. That is absurd. But either way, down in both kicks, it's unblockable, just like the first special, unblockable. Down in both kicks, but you can cancel out of that as well. I believe you have to hit kick. Yeah, you cancel out of it into Hitman by pushing both kicks twice right after you do the ability. I don't think there's any way else to get out of it. Maybe up up? No. You have to hit both kicks to get out of it. That's the only way you're gonna do it. But that is a hella good move for Lee. I don't think you'll be able to really ever get it, especially in like high matches. But if you're at low matches, you can definitely try that shit. I mean, do this and get a wall splat, and then do a down forward 3-2-3, and that's 114 damage at the wall. So just letting you guys know that. This with this combo at the wall with the wall splat is 114 damage. So that's absurd. And it's only like 5 hits. The character also has forward 3. This move here, another classic Lee move that you should be using a lot. It's very fast frames, very great for punishes, very good for ending combos. So I mean, like, let me get him up here. Oh, very good. I mean, it's so fast, and I mean, you can get a lot of distance. You can do it really quick, or you can get some distance on it. It's a solid move. It's forward 3. Definitely use it a lot. I highly recommend that move. This character also has a taunt. So if you hit back and 1-2, he will taunt all day. And I think that's just a cool thing to note whenever characters have like taunts and shit like that. And his special. I wanted to show his special real quick. Now, one thing about his special I will say is you cannot duck it, and it must be blocked. But there are certain circumstances in which it will miss the character if the character jumps. So technically, if my opponent jumps at a certain specific time, the special can miss. I have tested this, and I'll test it real quick. Opponent needs to jump. I'll test it real quick just to show you guys. Oh, no. There you go. So he jumped right over it. Other than that, you might as well just block it and then counter with your own, or something like that nature. So that should be it when it comes to Lee. This guy, like I said, his move list is as deep as the ocean. So if you want to try this guy out, more power to you. Remember to use a lot of missteps and backsteps with the mist, and definitely use that shit to counter your opponent. Even just movement like that is going to be intimidating if you're using it right. You're just using it stupidly, then that's your own fault. But if you're using it right and you're really juking with this character and sidestepping and shit, that's actually pretty damn intimidating in itself. But I will see you guys in the next tutorial. Hope you enjoyed this one. Please like, subscribe, and I will check you guys later.